Don't you hate it when non-farm payroll was yesterday and the data revealed nothing, making trading these uncertain markets just as uncertain as it was the day before? Well, make sure you stick around to hear my take on these uncertain times. Also, if you are new, welcome. So what is up, traders? We have a whole lot of who effing knows what's about to happen in the world today. We got Bitcoin ice skating on shorts faces. We have the SPX acting like it wanted to go lower but then bounced from the quarterly open, and then NFP. Now, I did take a long scalp on Euro USD at the job number print based solely on the technicals for a modest 2% win. But other than that, it's been a bit of a slow week. Well, if you ignore the 90% gain on Shiba USD, but I digress. It has been slow trading in the Forex markets. If you acted upon the USD JPY trade that I've been talking about since the early part of September, then congrats to you, dear viewer. I, on the other hand, missed that gorgeous, almost perfect setup, so you're probably a little bit better than me. All jokes aside, the YouTube channel is seeing a slight bit of traction, so thank you for that. Let's get on to the meat and potatoes as to why I am making this video. Before we get into the technical analysis, we must dive into the NFP recap, as this will be very important moving forward in our technical analysis. So, the print dropped at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time yesterday with a miss. The jobs growth was expected to be around the 500,000 mark. In reality, we got a print around 194,000 for the month of September. The unemployment rate for September dropped to 4.8% from 5.2% in August, and the average hourly earnings increased by 0.6% versus 0.4% the prior month. So the last two numbers were good. The miss came from the actual job number, and since it was a pretty bad miss, people may be thinking that the Fed may give pause to their tapering plans. This is where the uncertainty comes in. The reason for this is because if everybody is trying to adjust their portfolios ahead of the Fed announcement, this can cause big sharp moves in both directions, making it a choppy environment. My personal opinion is that the Fed will carry on and announce tapering. I don't know if it will start this year or next, but I do think it will happen. It is important to note, although the headline number was much worse than expected, August's print was upwardly revised from 235,000 to 366,000. For the revision to be reflected in September's print, the difference between August's original value and the revised value, 131,000, should be added to September's number. Therefore, although the BLS released a headline number of 194K, when considering the August revision, the number is probably more like 325. Although this still misses expectations, it still seems in the realm of positive jobs data for the Fed to announce tapering at their next meeting. Remember, Powell seemed to have almost ignored the 235,000 original August print. So far in October, the DXY has not really moved. It put in a high of 94.503 on the 30th of September, and that high still remains. So the dollar is consolidating under highs. It is also important to see that to get fresh yearly highs, you have to go all the way back to September the 25th, 2020 and see this high. So the dollar needs to get above that in order to make new yearly highs. So this will remain a bullish target for me. Also of note, there is daily resistance at 94.577 put in on that same day. So I will be looking for the dollar to find support around 93.43. There is multiple old resistance levels there, as well as the 21 EMA, so multiple points of confluence around that area. And lastly, the RSI is cooling off from a brief touch of overbought region, so yeah, I'm looking for a pullback. The USD JPY trade I spoke of earlier broke out of descending trendline resistance and has been ripping to the upside. This is what I was expecting, and I believe it will still continue. The support that it found on October the 4th is at 110.926. There is an old swing high from June 23rd that could have been the reason for this area to find support. You can see that when this swing high was put in, it briefly acted as support for a day when price traded back lower. And on this bullish pop, we blasted right through there. Since price does not move in a straight line, it came back and support did indeed hold there. The reason I did not gain entry is because it closed lower than the actual price that I was looking at, thus making a bear trap, so I left it alone. So moving forward, I will be waiting patiently for this asset to pull back again and find support somewhere that could offer up a price action setup good enough for me to throw some risk out there. But until then, I will be sitting on my hands. Now, for the entree. Mr. Bitcoin. For the new subscribers to my channel, I am a price action day trader, so I look to capitalize on short-term moves. When Bitcoin started to sell off from the 618 retracement, I was looking for short side entries. That trade turned out fantastic. When price rebounded and closed above daily resistance, I exited my short position. That support level was at $40,710.60. It was old resistance that had come into play several times. It was a daily resistance put in on January the 8th, 2021, and as you can see, when we had the 54% correction, it was also resistance again on the next bullish day's bounce. And as you can see, it has held as support. So what's next? From the looks of things, we are going to close well above 2-week resistance, and that is bullish. So moving forward, I am waiting for a retracement. A retracement back to the 2-week area could be awesome, but I do not know if it will go down there. But if it does and it holds support on daily closing basis, I am going to be looking to go long there. So far, a daily supply zone at $55,887.60 has slowed the bullish advance, so maybe we will see a pullback from here. This is also just under the 786 retracement from April's decline. Now, this is pure speculation, but if the Fed does indeed announce taper, it will be important to not be overly bullish on Bitcoin, because up until now, it has been a risk on asset. If it is still going to be traded as a risk on asset upon the announcement of taper, you can see Bitcoin come off. Now, if it has gained adoption as a safe haven asset, then upon that announcement, it could keep going up. So, as I stated earlier in the vid, uncertainty is upon us. There are multiple price points at which Bitcoin could find support ahead of the 2-week resistance, and those are daily swings. The first one of note would be the swing I put in on September the 6th, and that is 52,688 spot 30. That gives us 2 ranges of where possible support may be located. There are a few lower time frame areas that could also find support at, so as always, I will try to keep you guys up to date, as I do try to do 3 to 4 live streams during the week, and we always know more when we have more data. At the time of making this video, it's already testing daily resistance that was formed after the test of the supply zone, so it is still looking very strong. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern will be the close, so I will probably be sitting on my hands until further notice. As far as SHIB USDT, well, it put in intraday 3 drive topping formation that started yesterday and continued into this morning. It offered up another short position at 8 o'clock this morning at 2833, and the take profit was at intraday hourly support at 2585. So now we are waiting for this to trade up and find resistance, and at the time you are seeing this video, it may have already happened, but currently I have an alert set to see what happens around the 2724 price. It may just end up breaking down through support. And speaking of support, you can support this channel by smashing that like button, also by subscribing and hitting the bell notification so you get alerted when I go live or upload new videos. Thank you so much for your time. Make sure you trade safe, trade smart, and as always, happy trading, everybody.